for Whiskey Zulu 9 India.
Roger, Roger, 9 India, and what's the name there?
My name is John. We're located in the city of Winder, Georgia.
Roger, Roger, and what radio are you running today?
TS-590 ST with a Mercury 3 amp running about 500 watts into an off-center fed dipole up 55 feet in pine trees.
Roger, repeat your radio one more time, please.
TS-590 SG.
Roger that. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup, is that an older radio or newer radio, John?
It's 14 years old.
Roger. Well, gosh, I guess you have a fixed frequency as far as operational bandpass. Usually a lot of radios today have 3 selections for their transmit bandwidth, TBW. And the best one is 100 to 2900, and that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. But I'm assuming that radio may not have that 100 to 2900 since it's about 15 years old, Roger?
Roger, that is correct.
What is it, 27, 28?
I'm sorry, what is that number?
What is your transmit bandwidth? 26 or 27?
Roger.
Yeah, Roger. All right. So then we'd move to the compressor processor, usually on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. We're just looking for a third of that compressor processor, Roger.
Roger. The compressor is on. It is set at 24.
Is that 24 out of 100?
4 out of 50.
Roger that. Well, let's see here. What would be a third of that value? We only want a third of that compressor. The thing is, a compressor 3 and a compressor 6 are the same as far as actually working on the word, but the thing is the 6 has suck-up between the words, which we're really not interested in. So we're looking for 3. So that would be 3 out of 10. So 1.5 out of 50.
I'm looking for the compressor setting on my radio. It's been so long, I haven't changed it in 15 years. Give me a moment to find it.
Well, I'll tell you, such a small difference. I mean, we're just looking for a tad of compression, tasteful. That's what it is. The word is tasteful compression processing, which is like about a third, 3 out of 10, or 30 out of 100, or 1.5 out of 50, I guess. That's going the wrong way. I got to check that out. I've never worked a 50 radio as far as input nomenclature. Usually it's 10 or 100, something more fathomable for my brain to figure out. Roger.
Just double check that it's set at 35, 3-fiber out of 100.
Very good. Close enough. That's right in that 1/3 range, which is what we're looking for. All right, so after a compression processor, we move to our ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and we become a human test tone generator as we say the word audio. Now, I've looked at that word on a spectrum analyzer, and it just is filled with overtones in it from the bottom end of the frequency range to the top. So it really makes a nice tonality to tune with, since it's so multiplexed as far as frequency response. So it is the word audio. Don't worry about the last half of that word. It's just the first half, the part. And as you say audio, and manipulate your mic gain control until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3, Roger?
Audio. Running about 50 50%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we want to be just to the right of that. You know, you're in the ballpark there. We just got to touch it up just a skosh, so we're at 50% would be 5 on that meter, and then so we're looking for 7 or 2/3 on that meter. Roger.
Roger. So let me find the mic here.
And you would say that word just as you would say any other word in the QSO. Don't stress it. Just to say it like you would say any other word, Roger.
I'm changing settings. I haven't changed in probably a decade.
Roger. Well, you get to see how close you are. See. Tell you what, John, if you have just a moment, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find us a better path. Roger?
Roger.
A better path, Roger.
Roger. My antenna is 107 pole, fed with RG8 up 55 feet, and it's running generally north and south.
Roger, so obviously, ballistically, you would be working east and west, Roger? Obviously, ballistically, you would be working east and west, Roger?
Roger, that is correct.
All righty, so you want to check your ALC one more time and go for a second opinion? We're looking for, and you know, the thing is about the word, it's so easy to set that level. I mean, you used to say so between the here and here, but now with that word, you just adjust that mic volume, you can just put it right on 7 or 2/3, whichever that meter reads, Roger? 7 or 2/3, whichever that meter reads, Roger?
Audio. There we go.
There we go. Now, tell me about the best thing, since we got you going good, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Since we got you going good, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, I've had Kenwoods for 30 years. I'm used to the layout. I've got 2 TS-2000s in front of me and also this 590 SG. So I guess I like being familiar with it.
Yes, sir. You don't have to develop new tricks to run that radio. It's probably a common tribute and attribute for each Kenwood radio that there is a certain similarity from model to model, Roger?
Yeah, that there is a certain similarity from model to model, Roger?
Roger, that is correct. And by the way, where are you located? And I have missed your name. I just ran across you trying to find a friend of mine who is operating parks on the air today.
Roger, name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and the call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. And this is the Qso-Vlog net from now until 5 o'clock. And we are located down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger?
We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger?
Roger, been there many times. And one of the other things, I'm not as familiar with the audio settings on this rig as I'm 90% Morse code, CW.
Roger. Well, your EQ pattern is just fine. I wouldn't touch that at all. That's just very articulated. So even in heavy QRM, you're going to be heard and understood, Roger.
You're going to be heard and understood, Roger.
Roger. I for many years was the net control of the Badger weather net up in Wisconsin, and we moved from Madison, Wisconsin to Winder, Georgia about 8 years ago. So at that point I converted myself mostly back over to CW.
Roger, my grandfather was a real CW guy from, well, he was amateur radio before there was an FCC, Roger?
He was amateur radio before there was an FCC, Roger?
I'm afraid I'm not quite old enough to remember those days, but I have been on the air for about 65 years.
Roger, yes. Well, I guess you've, seen a bunch of stuff come along on radio. What's your attitude about contesting and stuff like that? How do you feel about that?
Stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
I'm neutral attitude-wise. As far as participation, the only contest I ever participate in is the state Qso parties on Morse code.
Roger that. Well, it's good that there a lot of people share that interest in radio. I think the more interesting we can make the hobby, I think we can ensure the longevity of the hobby, and I think that's one of the things that I try to look past when there's contesting and there's not a frequency open to get anywhere, and some stations are running 3 or 4 frequencies, 2 up and 2 down, and one in the middle, 5 frequencies at once, Roger.
Down and one in the middle, 5 frequencies at once, Roger.
Roger. Occasionally, I listen to those contests, especially and I love listening to the rare DX stations, but I very rarely, if ever, work those folks.
Yes, sir. Well, part of that is, I think, that their frequency band on the other side of the pond, those frequencies are dissimilar than ours. We're not on the same wavelengths many times to be able to copy, them rare DX stations.
Rare DX stations.
Roger on that. It's been 10 minutes since I've ID'd WZ9I, Winder, Georgia.
Roger, John. Okay, sir. I think we got you, sir. You're sounding really good. And if you get a chance and you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400. Or 3,400, anyway. But this will be cut number 1, so it's easy to find, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Easy to find, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger. Well, thanks for visiting with me. Take care, God bless, and we'll be listening for you again. WZ9I, I'm clear.
Roger, John 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.